Perfect. We still got more people joining. Steph, my man Jason. Perfect. And like I said, in 2 minutes, guys, we're going to get started. The call is now being recorded. You guys might hear some music in the background as well. I like to vibe, I like to get into it because once again, guys, this is a creative process. Marking up the charts shouldn't be something that you dread doing. I hate to be that guy, but nobody wants to rush through sets. So why should you rush through making money? It's like enjoy it, enjoy the process. Like enjoy looking for every support and resistance. Enjoy looking for the flow of the actual market. And just keep in mind that there's no reason you should ever sit down on the charts and just be on there counting hours. If you have to count and keep track of how much time that you're actually spending on the charts, then quite honestly, you probably don't really want it that bad because you're more so just logging to see, how much time you're actually spending versus actually putting in the work. Sheesh, my boy Merv is joining as well, all the way from UK. My man from the UK. I love it. So we got 31 people on the call. It's now 8:04. And once again, guys, for those of you who are just now hopping on, put in the chat box the city and state, or for some of you, the city and country that you're tuning in from and how long you guys have been trading in the markets. I'm really curious to see how long you guys have been in Jurassic Park. Once again, guys, I always tell people trading manually is no different than walking through Jurassic Park, with a map and a knife and a canteen, right? You're going to have to be able to figure out a way to survive. And your guys' trading accounts is like your health. So whatever dollar amount you actually have in your trading account, I want you to view that as your health points. So if you have $1,000 live in your trading account, you have 1,000 health points. And I need you guys to really view it that way, because as soon as we're able to disassociate money from the actual trades, then it's going to really improve. My man Jason, New York, 4 years trading, 1 year full-time. I love it, bro. I love it. Crazy to think Jason has more time under his belt than I do. So once again, guys, for those of you who are on this call that have only been trading a month or two, don't get discouraged. Don't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 26. So perfect, guys. It's 8:06 on the dot. I'm going to keep an eye on the participants. I know that there's people still rolling in, so I'm going to try my best to make sure they're good to go. But what we're going to go ahead and do first and foremost, guys, is once again, we're going to dive into the charts. If you guys can see my screen, you guys can see everything clearly, just go ahead and put a 111 in the chat. I want to make sure you guys can see everything. Hawaii, 1.5 years out. Love that, Chris. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Appreciate that, guys. 111. Let's get it. All right, let's dive right in. So first and foremost, the first thing that I always mark up is the DXY. So for those of you that are brand new to trading, for those of you that don't know what the DXY is, that is the dollar. That's the dollar index. The reason why this is so important is because if we know what the dollar is going to do, or at least have a good idea of what the dollar is going to do, that allows us to mark up a bunch of other pairs. So for example, if we think the dollar is gaining strength and going to be bullish, that then allows us to be potentially looking to sell EU, all right? Now, the same thing in reverse. If the dollar, for whatever reason, looks to be losing strength, then that gives us an idea to want to buy EU. So on the weekly time frame, and once again, guys, let me go ahead and see if there's a way I can clear this off. Here we go. Perfect. If you guys could refrain from drawing on the screen, I would appreciate that. That allows us to get more done. Perfect. And if it's an accident, don't worry about it, but try to refrain from drawing on the screen, guys. Once again, just to be clear, nobody's paying me to do this call. Nobody's telling me to do this call. Like, real deal, I have a obligation. I feel a need to be a vessel, to be a river of information. All of this stuff that I'm teaching you guys, I had to learn for myself. And the reason why I want to pass it on is because I know at the end of the day, the only thing separating my results from anyone else's is the information that they have and how they apply it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Weekly time frame, guys. Always remember, top-down analysis. The higher time frames hold more weight, okay? So what you're going to want to do is always try to get an idea of where is price wanting to go on the higher time frames. So we look at the dollar here, guys. We can clearly see, hold on, let me go ahead, perfect. Let me click off this. Beautiful. All right, I'm back. There we go. We can clearly see, guys, overall on the weekly time frame that the dollar was bullish. Now, once again, I want to remind everyone, trend lines only hold so much weight. So never, never actually look at a trend line and be willing to put the house on a buy or a sell over a trend line, right? Can everyone see my screen? Delicia is saying she can't, but everyone should be able to see my screen. Yes, I appreciate it, Martin. Okay, I'm not sure what's good, but so the whole point is, guys, you guys can see this is where we have the touches. Now, the importance of a trend line is to allow us to understand the actual direction that price is going. So here you can see this was our point A, right? This became our point B. Now, your point B is essentially where you see a lot of wicks touching, all right? And what I want to do is I want to draw this random line so you guys can see why this also was our point B. Notice that we had a clear level of support on the weekly time frame and another touch, right? Once again, the third touch occurred up here. So you guys can see overall on the weekly time frame, we still would have been calling all of this bullish. Now, to give you guys an idea, this is the replay tool, just so I can show you without getting you confused. Look, if we were looking at price right here and we're seeing and noticing that not only is price bullish on the higher time frame, but you guys can also notice that once our level of resistance is broken, what does it then become? Right? A level of support. Anytime your ceiling is broken, that then becomes your floor. So we're able to acknowledge, okay, cool. Now that this level has been broken, it retested, and now we can wait and see how it plays out. Now, once again, guys, for those of you who aren't using TradingView to actually backtest using this replay tool, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. The reason the replay tool is important is because it allows you to actually take trades and maintain the trades on your own. So even as we can see here, guys, on the weekly time frame, once again, what starts to happen when we talked about last week with our moving averages, right? We talked about our EMA and our MA. What happens? The blue crosses over the red. So for those of you who are using these moving averages, it's important to understand when the red is over blue, there's usually more sellers in the market than buyers, meaning price will most likely go down, just like what happens right here, right? But notice, when the blue crosses over the red, just like down here and just like down here, price then starts to become bullish. Notice the same thing, red over blue, we drop again. Blue over red, what happens? We continue to stay bullish until we get another crossover and then another crossover here as price starts to find a level of resistance. Now, the key to all of this, guys, is understanding, once again, the higher time frames hold weight. So as you see the blue crossing over the red on the weekly, that then lets you know on the lower time frames, you're going to be looking for buys the whole way, right? You're going to be looking for the pairs that the dollar has included to get stronger. So the two pairs that I've been trading over the last 3 to 4 months have been EU and GU. Now, the reason that is, once again, you guys can see even with the replay tool, I'll go ahead and get rid of it, but I want you guys to notice even on the 4-hour time frame, let's go ahead and bump down. You guys can see what's going on with EU right now. Last week, when price was right around here and we had the blue crossing over the red, people asked me what I saw EU doing. And I said I at least saw it coming to retest this zone right here. So an 83 pip move. Now, once again, I want this to be interactive. So for everybody on the chat right now, I want you guys to be transparent. I want you guys to put in the lot size that you're most comfortable using right now. What is it? I want to see not the lot size that you want to use, the lot size that you can place and go to sleep with, right? Okay, 0.01. Okay, cool. 0.05, 0.5. Perfect. 0.5, 0.1. Perfect. 0.10. 20 lot. Beautiful. 0.1. Perfect. Good. 1 to 2 depends on. Perfect. Now, the reason I say that, guys, is because, once again, your lot size is a direct indicator of where you are psychologically. So the newest person who's using a 0.01, they have to learn to walk before they can run, right? they have to get used to what it looks like seeing their trades fluctuate. Everybody, before they ever experience blue, always starts in the red. And once again, guys, like I said, we could go over charts all night long. But if your psychology is not on point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how technically sound you are. It doesn't matter how well you can break down a 100 lot. 100. My fault, Jason. I thought you said 100 lot. But even for myself, you know, to comfortably place a trade and go to sleep at night is anywhere from 5 to 10 lots. And that's coming from someone who's used 140 lots on a single trade. I'm keeping it a stack, guys. Like, where are you guys psychologically? And always remember, that's your journey. Take pride in that, you know? The moment that we all become accountable for our own destiny is the moment that we actually take control of it. You know, so often everyone wants to try to put, you know, their results, or everyone wants to try to put their situation on somebody else's shoulders instead of being accountable for where we're at right now in this moment. And guys, it's October 5th, 2020. So regardless of if you're a week into this or you're 5 years into this, I'm encouraging every single person to not quit. I'm encouraging every single person to continue to remind themselves every single day of why they got started. Like before I even get into these charts, before I even go through the breakdowns, I need everybody to remind themselves why they got started. There's a reason you're even on this call right now. There's a reason, and why you got started and why you're trading is more important than even learning this niche, because when you blow accounts, when you lose trades, when you feel lost and confused, when you feel like there's nobody in your corner supporting you, when you're looking in your savings account and you have, oh shit, I got $500, but I'm gonna still put 200 in a trading account because I know that's my only choice. And guys, I was doing these calls, see red and close out and run. My man, Jesus said, people see red, close out and run. You're right. You're right. They do. But once again, everybody on this call has sacrificed time out of their night on a Monday to level up. So that's my whole purpose and goal. Once again, don't be like, oh, he's not, don't get too confused and lost on the fact that I'm not actually marking up a chart right now. Because like I said, 80% of this call needs to be psychology and me getting y'all's mental right. 20% of this call can be technical and me showing you guys how to actually sharpen the blade and level up. So last week we talked about EU. We talked about the fact that on the 4-hour time frame, the blue is crossing over the red. And so people were asking me, Jason, are we looking to sell? No, we're not looking to sell, because when we look at the market, it's telling us that there's more buyers and sellers at this current time. Even right now, guys, let's look at the current DXY. Let's look at what is going on right now, not what happened weeks ago. I'm gonna mark up live charts for you guys right now, because even as we see, the dollar is losing strength. What happened here? This was our resistance, right? This level right here was our resistance. This is also a minor level of resistance. But what happens? Once price breaks through, it has to come retest. Now, once again, notice the red is over the blue. So would I be looking to want to sell EU right now? No, because once again, the dollar's dropping and the euro is gaining strength. Notice the blue is over the red. So when we look at the overall higher time frame, this could very well, guys, just end up being a wick. But in order for me to even start seeing a shift in momentum, I need to see it happening on the lower time frames. So even as we look at M30, notice, guys, notice what's happening. We had a break of this trend line. Notice it didn't completely retest, but we had the red over blue, meaning what? More sellers in the markets than buyers, meaning the dollar is most likely going to get weak. If the dollar gets weak, that means the euro and the pound are going to go up and get strong. So if you guys are keeping an eye on the dollar, that's going to help your game out in so many ways. I'm telling you right now. But the point is, there's a lot of people who are already trying to sell EU on Sunday. There was people who were trying to sell EU this morning, and they weren't looking at the dollar. There's literally the only area where somebody could have potentially wanted to buy at would have been like right here. And the reason I say that is because on the M30 time frame, you'll see, oh, okay, the blues crossed over the red, right? But let's go to 4-hour. Let's see what's actually happening on the higher time frame. Uh-oh, the red is still over the blue. And remember, guys, the higher time frames hold weight. Which SMA and EMA are you using? So my MA is 18. And once again, for those of you who aren't on the call last week, the length is 18. The source is close. And I keep it red so that way I understand that anytime the red is over the blue, more sellers. And then also my EMA is 8. And you guys can see I have that blue. So as we look at in previous sections, you guys can see what happens when the blue crosses over the red. Buys, right? Dollar gets strong. So once again, the reason why I would have not sold EU around here just by seeing M30 crossover, although the blue crossed over red on M30, H4, nope. H4, red still over blue. So that let me know, even as we're seeing, this go on, if anything, people could still continue to wait and see how the dollar actually plays out. So remember this, guys. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. People keep like honestly, guys, I'll be honest. When I had the 100K day, I called my dad, had that moment. Then a couple of days later, he called me and said, Jason, get back in the charts. Start to make more money. And I said, Pops, imagine planting a seed for 3 years of strawberries, and finally the strawberries grow. Finally, you can pluck them, wash them, cut them up, put them in a bowl, and eat them. Is there any need at all to rush eating those strawberries when it just took you 3 years to finally be able to have them in the first place? So remember this, guys. We can never get too caught up in wanting more. The Bible says chasing money is like chasing the wind. Now, I need you guys to understand, who can agree no one can catch the wind, right? Nobody on the call can catch the wind. So it's important to never be so money hungry that you're never happy with what you have, right? That's why everybody needs to start their day with a moment of gratitude. People will see us post about gratitude on 100, right? It's so imperative, guys. If you don't start the foundation of your day with gratitude, then it's almost like the universe and God saying, how can I give you more if you're not already grateful for what you have? And that starts by understanding that the things in life that money can't buy are what make you rich. So if we continue to focus on trading as just another vehicle, just another resource to allow us to level up and set us free, then, we won't put so much pressure on having to continually make more money. Guys, I haven't made enough money to be like, oh, money doesn't make you happy. I haven't made enough of it to say that. But I can tell you this, guys. I've gone from $3 to my name and like homeless and walking around Vegas with my backpack, a suit on, and a bag full of luggage to now living in a skyrise and making over 6 figures in a trade because I was able to continue to see the vision. I never lost sight of the vision. Guys, sight is a function of the eyes and vision is a function of the heart. So if you guys plant a seed within your heart and protect it, nobody, absolutely nobody should ever come between the vision that you see. So back to the charts, guys, because once again, we have to be able to have vision in order to trade. Because you guys are trading charts that haven't even come to fruition yet. So let's go look at a different pair. Let's look at GA. Prime example, guys. I marked this up because this is a good teaching tool. So 4-hour time frame. Actually, before we even get to the 4-hour time frame, let's go ahead and once again look at the weekly top-down analysis, right? So we can see overall that price was on a bullish uptrend, right? What allows us to notice that? As we can see, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Now, what gives us the red flag? And salute to everyone sparking up as well. So salute to all the real ones that are using some elevated thinking. Because once again, guys, the reason I love this niche so much is it allows me to be me. I don't have to act like anybody else. I can be tatted up. I can cuss if I want to. I can talk about God if I want to. I can smoke weed if I want to. I can do whatever I want. And that level of independence can't be bought. And so that's why I continue to encourage everybody, embrace who and what you are, because the moment that you love yourself for yourself is the moment that even these charts and stuff start to become more clear. So we noticed that price was bullish, but what happened, right? This area right here, we had the red cross over the blue, letting us know, there might be more potential sellers in the market than buyers. So once again, guys, y'all saw me draw that trend line within 2 seconds. I didn't waste any time. I just wanted to show you guys it's a bullish trend. But look, what happens here? When price actually goes from being bullish to bearish, not only do we have the crossover here and a break of a minor trend line, right? And then a retest. You guys can see minor trend line, break, retest, drop, higher time frame trend line, right? We can all obviously see that just based off looking at this, we had a break and retest. Now, once again, guys, I don't want you putting the house on trend lines. Trend lines are a small tool. Support and resistance are what you really need to be looking at, because on the daily time frame, we can see on this break and retest, we still have the red over the blue, and we actually are starting to get levels of exhaustion. Now, I put arrows for you guys to see. This is on the daily time frame. So that allows us to know moving forward that with price failing to break this zone, it lets us know this is kind of the highest it wants to go. So let's bump down. Once again, time frame correlation. Now let's go to the 4 hour. So we can see with more detail that price right along this purple line, this level of resistance, was failing to break. Every time price got to this ceiling, it failed to break. So that gives us opportunities. That lets us know, although on the higher time frame, this is a consolidation area between here and here, that's 500 pips worth of consolidation. So I think we can all agree there's moves to be made. Now, the reason why I wouldn't have been looking for buys on these trades is because at the end of the day, what are we looking at on the higher time frame? Bears, right? The weekly looks bearish. The daily looks bearish. So I'm not going to be looking for, because I'm a swing trader, guys. You have to understand there's 3 ways you can trade. You can scalp. That's hitches, slants, screens, right? Quick stuff. You trade with a 20 pip stop loss and you're looking to get 20, 30 pips. Then you have intraday. This is deep outs, digs, right? This is like 20 to 50, 60 pips, right? Or what I call yards. You know, it's no different than football. We're looking to just be in the market in the morning and be out the market by night, right? You really just want to be trading for a session. And then you have swing trading, right? Scalping, intraday, swing trading. Perfect, Martin, exactly. Now, swing trading is like home run posts. Swing trading is fades, post corners. Like, we're actually going to look for a good size gain when we actually take this trade. So what I want to remind you guys, how do we find entries? How do we find where to place our stop loss? So let's look at this right here. This was an actual trade that I took. You guys can see, even as I scroll it back, this trade actually did go into profit. And the closest that we got was, I think it was like right around here. And this still, I closed early. I actually closed around here because it was a level of support. So for 314 pips. Now, once again, how was I looking for sells? How was I telling myself, okay, you know what? Like, this could be a good area. So for one, on the 4 hour time frame, I'm going to also mark up key levels of resistance. So once again, we saw over here, price failed to break this level of the ceiling. Remember, think about Mario as jumping and hitting his head on a ceiling or hitting his feet on the floor. Right here, Mario was bouncing on the floor. And remember, guys, this stuff right here, that stuff right there, I call cancellation candles. If we go to the daily time frame, I guarantee that that'll either be a wick or a cancellation candle. Exactly. Look, a bunch of wicks. So always keep in mind that this whole move was just to get back above support. You know, this whole move right here was just to get back above support. So always keep in mind that the stuff that's happening on the lower time frames, in all reality, is actually just noise on the higher time frame. So let's bump to 4 hour real quick, get back to it. We see price was failing to break this level of resistance. So that let us mark up on the lower time frames. And when you're looking for levels of resistance, guys, I want you to go where all the wicks are touching. Even this, like, I don't want you guys to get caught up in this right here. Like, this right here is BS. Like, what is that, guys? That's nothing. That's not, you know what I mean? That's literally consolidation. That's nothing. That's not actual price movement. This This right here, that's price movement. Respect, respect. And once again, we talked last week about the importance of 30-minute candles. We're going to get to that in a second, because once we know what's happening on the weekly, once we know what's happening on the daily, then we want to look at the 4-hour and then the M30, right? So now that we're looking at the 4-hour and we see levels of resistance occurring, that then allows us to look for an area to enter. Now, once again, as I see the red crossing over the blue here, and then I see this small breakout, that once again is allowing me to wait. I'm being patient. I'm waiting. And I'm still looking for sells, but I want to make sure that I don't get in prematurely. I want to make sure that I get in with flow. So as we zoom in, I want you guys to notice the importance of lower time frame trend lines, because you guys can see this is the area that price finally broke. This is the area that, once again, we were noticing, you know what? Price is failing to break 1.8405. So how can we look for entry? That means we got to bump down on the lower time frames and actually look for good opportunities. So right here, whenever you see actual red crossing over blue on M30, and also it's happening on H4, that's called confluence. When you're seeing actual indicators flowing together on different time frames, that's confluence. That gives you that much more confidence to want to hop into a trade, because you know that it's all lining up on the higher time frame. So let me go ahead and mark up this area right here. Let's bump to H4. Perfect. And we can see, once again, guys, this whole area right here is our 4 wicks, which once again give us that much more confirmation that price is getting hella tired. Every time price comes up even to this area within this box, it is getting tired. Now, why did I place my stop loss above these wicks? Because when you're entering a trade, you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position where either this is going to have to completely break this entire level, and I'll show you what I mean by that, guys. On this 4-hour time frame, where do all the wicks touch? Right here, right? We got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and my stop loss is above all of them. So that allows us to go down to the M30 and say, okay, cool. Now that we know price is getting tired, we can look for a solid entry. So when we see H4, this area is all wicks. M30, this area is the red crossing over the blue. So once again, even if you wanted to wait until you actually see a break of this trend line, right? With, look, 2 candles. Remember what we talked about last week, the importance of 2 candle confirmation. Notice how when price breaks right here, after this sell candle, we had 2 buy candles, right? That's what I call a false break. But notice right next to it, when price finally did break, we had 2 bear candles. 1, 2, solid, right? We had a retest of the trend line and then a drop. Now, how do we actually find the projection of where we want to hold the order? That's simple, guys. Once again, that's based off of resistance and support. So when we look left, where was price continually bouncing off of? This level of support, right? Now, here's what's cool, guys. Here's how you're able, this is the cheat code. This is how you're able to maintain orders for hundreds and hundreds of pips, is using your sub fib. So let's go down to the M30 time frame. Now, Fibonacci is for retracement. Now, retracement is like breathing. It's like a lung, right? You take a deep breath in, you blow out. It's no different. The charts are no different. On the higher time frames, they're just breathing. They're expanding in and out. So when we're using the retracement tool, that's allowing us to see how big the breath in and out is. Now, once again, guys, let's look at the real start of the move. So we can take this replay tool, and I want to show you guys to the T. This is what I love so much about TradingView and this replay tool, is it allows me to show you guys in real time how we would maintain this order. It allows you guys to see, okay, bet, let's say this is live right now, and everyone's looking at GA, and we see, okay, bet on the H4 time frame, price is getting tired, right? Price is all these wicks are occurring. We saw up here and up here, price was getting really, really tired. And we know on the higher time frame, weekly and daily, that it's still bearish. So what does that mean? We bump down to the M30. Now we're looking for our entries, right? Now we're looking for our entries. So what do we notice? We have the red crossing over the blue. So let's go ahead and let it play out. I'll put the speed down a little bit so that way we can all pay attention to what these candles do. Now, once again, guys, I call this film study. You know, this is film study. This is how we get better. We literally have to be able to go through and acknowledge what is happening on the charts. So we can see here, once again, this level is being respected. Now, what do we finally have? That two candles that we were talking about. We finally have 1 and 2 strong bearish candles on the 30-minute time frame. So that lets us know already this could finally be it. This could finally be the zone that it breaks. Now, what you can also do is this. Draw a random line at this level of support. Simple, right? Simple. Once again, we're risking 64 pips for a reward of 430 pips, and that's just at the first level of daily support. Now, even if, guys, even if you wanted to create a level of support right here, right? That one's pretty obvious. Notice price on the M30 time frame, bounce, 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 right? I sound like a Bow Wow song, and it's literally that critical. Like, if you guys are able to, let's see, my boy Jay Lynn's, let me add him to perfect. So you guys can see as we press play, let's go ahead and press play. We can see we had the break of the trend line, and now we're waiting for the retest. No break, no retest, no entry, right? So let me go ahead and pause it real quick. Let's wait for the entry. All right, it's testing the trend line. And literally, you guys can see that is how the week actually closed. So once again, this is an order where if you place it going in Friday, then you can either maintain and hold the order over the weekend, or you can wait until market opens to try to get an entry. This would have been, this one right here, I had placed right around this area when I saw the red crossing over the blue, and I maintained the order for the entire weekend and held it throughout the week. Now, the reason that's still important is because even as market opens and it gaps down, you guys can see here that the wicks actually closed the gap, right? The gaps will get filled, guys. The gaps will get filled. So just remember, anytime there's a gap down, there's a high probability that it will get filled, which will then still give you an opportunity for entry. Now, maintaining the order. This is where it starts to get sweet, guys. This is where you can have confidence in holding your order. So that way you don't have to get scared, you know, when price does something on 5-minute time frame or our 30-minute time frame, you know? So we have yet to really see a solid move. Now, once again, we still notice that the red is over the blue. And if we go check the 4-hour time frame, what's starting to happen? We got the red crossing over the blue. Guys, once again, it's not rocket science. If it were, then I'll be the first to tell you I wouldn't be winning, because I'm not that smart. I'm just relentless. And that's why I keep telling you guys, you don't have to be the hardest worker or the smartest worker. You have to be the one who's most willing to adapt. You have to be the one who's obsessed with the vision, obsessed with the craft. And it wasn't by choice, guys. Me being involved in Forex wasn't by choice. I didn't just wake up one day and say, I can't wait to trade Forex. No, I hated it, guys. I hated it. But you know what I hated more than the charts? Being broke. You know what I hated more than the charts? Not having freedom. You know what I hated more than the charts? Having to go clock into some shit that I knew wasn't serving my purpose, right? So sometimes we have to be willing to undergo a little bit of adversity, a little bit of frustration, a little bit of confusion in order to ultimately get to where we want to go. Guys, I didn't have a car. I had less than like $500 to my name. And it was still just a continual, I don't care what my current situation is looking like. I care about my final destination. And even still, people will look at the 6-figure day. They look at the results right now. I'm telling you guys, I'm scratching my own surface. So I don't want for 1 second for you guys to look at your own journey and think that you're as far as you can go. No, I promise you, there's more room for growth. In order to get results you've never had, you have to become someone you've never been. Now, what does that require? A different day-to-day action, right? The things that we've been doing the last 6 months, the last year is not going to get us to where we want to go. Otherwise, we'll already be there, right? It's funny to me how somebody who's been doing the same thing for 3 years over and over and over is expecting different results. What's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And yet I see people all the time continually doing the same shit every single day. Wake up, eat breakfast, go clock in, come home, watch TV, go to sleep, wake up, eat breakfast, go clock in, come home, watch TV, go to sleep, wake up. You guys get it. And that's why, once again, I commend each and every one of you for taking the leap of faith, not only on this journey, but in yourself. Because everybody that's on this call right now had to be willing to make that sacrifice. Everybody on this call right now, I guarantee, has at one point in time been told, oh, you're doing that trading thing. Oh, you're doing that. Oh, Forex, that's a scam, right? Isn't that a scam? Oh, you're still trying to make money through your phone? Oh, how's that working? And I'm telling you guys, all that stuff that you're hearing, I had heard for the last 3.5 going into 4 years. Guys, I've heard it all. And I'm telling you, opinions don't pay the bills. The same people that were telling me that this stuff was a scam, or that this stuff wasn't going to get me paid, or that this stuff wasn't going to set me free, if I was willing to accept, the actual opinions that they had, then that means I have to accept the results that they have too. So whoever's hating on you, whoever's actually telling you you're wasting your time, make sure that if you value their opinion, that you're willing to live with their results as well. So let's hop back into GA. Once again, weekly time frame, bearish. Daily time frame, bearish. 4-hour time frame, we're getting the red crossing over the blue, and we have a break of support. Once again, we drew this support on the M30, but notice how it works literally to the T on the H4. So remember this, guys, and I can even put it up over here. Time frames, weekly, that's where you start. That's where you get an idea of where's price headed. Daily, this allows you to put key levels of support and resistance. 4-hour, this allows you to actually look for structure, right? Okay, there's a higher highs, higher lows. What is price actually doing? M30, this allows you to look for entries and stops, right? And the 4-hour structure is going to give you your take profits, okay? Now, what's also cool about the M30 is this is how we're able to maintain. Beautiful, perfect. Now, M5, if you want to get extra spicy and you start to really like work all of these in, then M5 allows you to get crispy entries. But that's the only thing that you need to be on M5 for. Otherwise, you're going to be losing your shit watching every 5-minute candle form. And I promise you guys, it's a waste of time. You need to be looking at the higher time frames, right? The same way I shouted out my boy for smoking some gas is the same reason why I smoke and I, do THC while I'm trading, because I need something to keep me even keeled. Same reason I smoke before I play football games, guys. And once again, I'm not telling every person on this call, if you want to be successful trading, start smoking weed. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying everybody has their own recipe and formula. You got to figure out what works for you. One person eats a peanut, right? A peanut, and they end up in the hospital because they have an allergic reaction. Another person can eat a whole jar of peanut butter and be just fine. So my point is, understand yourself. Don't look at what someone else does or what someone else has to do. We're going to make you try it and shout out crazy, bro. And so my whole point is understand yourself, right? I know for myself, no different than when I played football. It gave me like an extra juice. It gave me an extra like comfort and allowed me to just not care about anything other than me playing. No different from the charts. People are different, exactly. So understand yourself. Now, let's talk about the actual time. Let's talk about maintaining the order, right? Because notice as we see this on the 4-hour time frame, every time that price is creating a new low, it allows us to actually create a sub-fib. Now, what do I mean by that, guys? Our point A to point B. So we can see this is where the actual crossover happened, meaning this bearish candle is actually the start of the full bearish move. So that's our point A. Remember, your point A is at the start, the top of the wick of the true bearish move. Why can I not put it here? Because that's not the true bearish move. This candle right here, this candle is, right? And shout out to the DMV I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. I got my guy Music Mac on the 1s and 2s. So the point, guys, is this. You're able to track and maintain your order using your sub-fib on the M30 time frame. So that means from our point A, which is 100%, to our point B, which is our new low, that then allows us to maintain the order. So what that means is price has all this room, right? Let me show you guys with an arrow. Price has all this room to breathe, guys. All this room. We know that this is the retest, so it could come all the way back up to as much as 78.6. And once again, our entry's here. So that gives us comfort. That lets us know, hey, even if we end up back in drawdown, the trade is still breathing from the overall true bearish move that occurred on M30 and is now happening on H4. Because remember, guys, what happened on H4? The red is crossing over the blue, which is more confirmation that, more sellers are about to be in the market than buyers, which then allows us to maintain and hold the order even more. But outside of doing that, before we even do that, let's already look at how much we're already in profit. Just based off what we know, we're already 60 pips in profit. So at the same time, this is where you have to decide, okay, when am I comfortable putting my stop loss at break even? Or when am I comfortable actually moving my stop so that way if price does retrace, then I don't get F'd. You know, I don't lose a trade that I was winning. And the point of that is we can look and see 61.8% retracement is above, or excuse me, below our entry. So we know as long as it doesn't break 38.2 or 50, we're good. So let's hit play, guys. Let's hit play. Let's see what happens. Perfect. So we can see price is dropping. And once again, boy, is it dropping, right? What does that allow us to do? What MA and EMA again? Perfect. So the MA is 18 and the EMA is 8. And the importance of understanding this is it allows us to hold. It gives us, exactly, perfect. Appreciate it, Cap. Exactly. The EMA is 8, blue, close, exactly. And the MA is 18, red. Now, the reason this is so important is because we can continue to move our point B. And even still, it's allowing us to understand that how would you scale in more orders along the way? The way you would scale in is, let's say, instead of price, you know, hitting 0%, let's say it actually, instead of it continuing to drop, let's say right here, it came back to 38.2, consolidated, and then what would we see? What would we have to see? The red crossing over the blue again for us to want to get more entries. Now, where do we see the red crossing over the blue on 38.2? Most likely on like the 5-minute time frame. We would want to see it on a lower time frame as well as the 30-minute because we already know on the H4. Let's see what H4 looks like now. Wow, wow, what do we know? The red is fully over the blue now. Like, guys, I can show you every single pair, and I promise you, this is how it goes. It's literally waiting for flow. And if you see the M30 crossing over, you know, let's say the red crosses over blue on the 30-minute, but then you check the 4-hour and there's no crossover, then you need to be more hesitant, right? You need to be more aware and understand that right now, this is not confluence. Confluence is when it's flowing together on all time frames. Now, the way we're able to maintain this order is, once again, on the 30-minute, we're using our sub-fib. So what that allows us to do is continue to bring our point B down. So let's hit play again. This will show us, guys, this will show us, this is how we're able to catch hundreds and hundreds of pips versus a 20-pip move, a 30-pip move. Because even here, this is prime example, right? So we put our point B on where the wicks touch, right? We have a wick touch here, wick touch here. Once again, guys, I could put it down here, but I still see this as overall the true median. Because if I went to the 4-hour time frame, I guarantee you this right here is probably a wick. So let's look at how price respects these Fibonacci levels, okay? Wow, wow, 23.6. So for those of you who are coached up and you understand Fibonacci, you know 23.6 is a continuation / consolidation zone, meaning when price is running around 23.6, you can expect it to just maintain and stay there or just continue on the overall move. Now, we don't want to scale in on 23.6s. Not me personally, because if you scale in here, then you have all this room for fuckery. Now, once again, excuse my language. I apologize, guys. I've been told my whole life I need to wash my mouth out, and I agree, I do. But me being around football coaches and all that my whole life, I can't help it. You know, and once again, guys, these markets are rated R for ruthless, you know? Like, I can sit here and sugarcoat and be all like, this is so easy and this is so nice and let's all be friends. No. These markets will take your bread faster than you can put it in. I promise you that. It'll take you 2 days to deposit and you lose your whole account in an hour. I promise you, because I've done it. BU, exactly. Yes, sir. So now what does this drop allow us to do? A new point B. A new point B. Exactly. Oh my goodness, it's still dropping. It's still dropping. So as price continues to drop, what do we continue to look at? Where is our moving averages? Okay, our red's over blue. So there's more sellers in the market. Let's go ahead, let's look at 4 hour. Oh, okay. Red's still over blue, right? So the reason I say that, guys, is because when we look at these 4 hour time frames, we're seeing 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. Guys, we have to have patience. The same patience you have to have in yourself on the journey. It was up 9K in a week. It took me 2 minutes to lose my. Exactly, bro. Exactly. And Shadow, once again, like I told you, bro, don't feel bad about that because everybody on this call, I guarantee at some point has seen profits and then seen them go bye-bye just as quick. You know, I had to lose 60,000 in profits from a 4 or 5K account in order for me to make 100,000. You know, and guys, I want, once again, transparency. I was out the game for months. You want to talk about some pain? I was out the game for months. Imagine being shackled by scarcity your entire life. Imagine growing up your entire life, always having enough that you're not starving, but never having enough to feel like you're free, right? And then after 18, you're on your own and, you know, you've been homeless. You had no money in your account. You know, you've cried every night because you're like, how the fuck am I going to get out of this situation? You know, and you're talking to your best friends about this trading thing, right? You're talking, hey guys, y'all should come learn how to trade with me, right? And them saying, me come learn how to trade with you? You who only has $200 in your bank account? You who doesn't have a car? You who's stocking shelves at Target from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m.? You? I should come learn with you? Nah, bro. I'm good on that. I'll stay at my job where it's safe. Fast forward 3 years, 40 million people unemployed looking for ways to make money. What are we doing on this call right now? Sharpening our blade. What are we doing on this call right now? We're making more money on this call right now than we'll ever make on MT4. I promise you that, guys, because it all starts in here. That's why I want you guys can feel the energy that I've been giving out this whole hour. And I tell my girl every time before I get on this call, I want to be drained. I want to fall asleep after this call at 9 and feel like I gave y'all everything. I want to give y'all everything. I want y'all to walk away from this call feeling something where it's like, you know what? Even if I blow accounts for the next 2 years, I remember how he made me feel that Monday night. I remember how he essentially allowed me to see the vision of where I'm going to go. Because once again, guys, to only focus on ourselves is selfish. Like, you know how many people I know who are like, let me just focus on making my own money. Like, who cares about making all this money? That's selfish. That's selfish. The IG is QB Stew, QBSTEW. Because once again, guys, playing quarterback is a mentality. It's a lifestyle. Playing quarterback is not just football. It's a lifestyle. And playing quarterback is literally in the middle of the game. You could be down 28-0 going into the fourth quarter, and you have two choices. You can look at your teammates and let them know. They can see it in your eyes. You can let them know, hey, guys, I've already tapped out. We're going to lose this game. So, honestly, do whatever you want because I'm tapped out. It's over. Or you can look them in the eyes and say, it's not over until it's over. Guys, there's been accounts where I have traded 1K to like 8K to then be back down to 600 to then have gotten it back to 15K. That's my whole point, guys, is it's not over until it's over. That's why I want you guys to view trading as a video game. I want you guys to literally view these charts as a video game and remind yourself every single day, if I get good at this game, it could set me free. If I get just good enough at this game, it could change everything. It could change the whole entire way I look at life. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys today. Because of these charts, I was able to rip the shackles of scarcity off my entire life. Shackles that have kept me binded. Don't trade on FTMO. Their rules are correct. Honestly, bro, FTMO is a whole nother thing. FTMO for people who want funded accounts. Once again, there's nothing wrong with having rules. Because honestly, most people, if you can't manage $1,000, you most likely can't manage 100,000. And that's what I continue to get at is at the end of the day, we need people to become better managers. We all got to become better managers. It's funny how we'll all be struggling to manage our own finances, but then all of a sudden we think that trading is going to be different. It's like we struggle keeping track of our own bread, but then now all of a sudden we think we can manage a trading account differently, right? It's all the same, guys. Managing is managing. The homie G kills FTMO. Yeah, honestly, FTMO, once again, like I said, FTMO is just funded accounts. For those who want, to trade bigger amounts of capital, it's available. But once again, there are rules, there are guidelines, no different than anything. Like if you want that level of capital, if I was giving out $100,000 accounts, I'll have rules too. Come on, stop it. You think, oh yeah, here's 100K. You can lose as much as you want a day. No, stop it. That's my capital. I want y'all to, you know what I'm saying? It's rules. It's what comes with the game. There's rules in all assets of life. If you don't like FTMO, exactly, just be disciplined. And if you don't like FTMO, then just trade your own account. It's simple. Or find an investor that believes in you, believes in your skill set, and trade for them. Always remember this, guys. You weren't born driving, but eventually you figured it out. Exactly. I tell people all the time, if this was piano, if we were learning how to play piano instead of trading, I wouldn't expect anybody on this call to do a live performance in front of an audience within their first 30 days. But funny how when we all started trading, we were all live within the first month, right? First month, second month, we were all live. We were all so ready. Oh, I learned how to use a trend line. It's time to go live, right? Oh, I know support and resistance. It's time to go live, right? Oh, a 1.0 is $10 per pip. So all I got to do is, I got you, Steph. I got you. QBSTEW. Perfect. Appreciate it, Frankie. And once again, shout out to my dog, Frankie. Once again, guys, this individual was with me on June 26, 2017, when I first got started. And this individual, Frankie, I was living with him. We were both living with a millionaire. We were both living with somebody who had millions but could only tell us how to make money by playing football, right? I already played football. I already know how to play, right? So there was nothing of substance to teach me, to get me to where I wanted to go. That's why I had to come find mentors. That's why I sought out people in the Forex niche to teach me how to level up. But the importance of surrounding yourself with people who are solid and see your vision as well is crucial. Because if you continually are the only one in your circle that sees where you want to go, then you're in the wrong circle. It sucks. And sometimes you have to pray and ask God to remove those people from your circle for you. Right? And it's just as simple as that. It's not easy at the time. It might not make sense. It's like, well, I've been friends with this dude my whole life. I've been friends with Johnny for 10 years. But now all of a sudden, it seems like he's showing his true colors. Guys, at the end of the day, like I said, opinions don't pay the bills. You have to maintain your vision. You have to hold it and protect it and know where you're going before anyone else does. Because if I had listened to all the people that told me don't do this, 3 years ago, then I'll probably still be at Target, or I'll probably still be doing some shit that I hated. And I just didn't care, you know? It's either I make this work or I go back to work. I make this work or I go back to work. If not this, then what? So we're gonna finish it on this. Let's look at, once again, maintaining the order. We see on the 4-hour time frame, once again, we found our entry. We put our stop loss well above where there was any level of resistance. And also, once again, keep this in mind, guys, when we use our fib from point A to point B on the M30, it also gives you guys a 120% retracement zone. So you guys can see from our point A, which is right here on this wick, this bearish wick where the sells occurred, it shows that 120% is above any level of resistance. So anytime you guys are entering, you always want to put your stops above resistance. And if you're in buys, you want to put your stops below support. So that way, if you're wrong, you're just wrong, right? I'm fine with being wrong because that's going to happen. You guys are going to have to lose trades. Losses don't define us. Exactly. Remember this, no single trade or trading account will ever define you as a trader. I know plenty of people that are great traders, but poor managers. Great traders, terrible managers. So that's where we all have to decide, what is our risk appetite? That's where we all have to decide, okay, how many trades am I willing to lose? That's why I created my brand. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Exactly. At the end of the day, we all want to see each other win. You know, I'm the last person here who wants to see people lose. Like I said, we've been on here for an hour. I've been doing psychology, personal development, because that's just as important, guys, if not more important than maintaining this order. Why? Why, guys? Because when I entered on this candle right here, when people saw this, oh no, oh my God, oh, it's getting back to my entry. I gotta close, right? Holding the order, having the patience, the same patience that I had to have over the last 3 years of being broke, being homeless, being hungry, being talked shit upon, like all those things is the same patience we have to have on every trade. Every single trade, you have to maintain your patience. All in the mind, exactly. So when maintaining this order, with price breaking and creating a new low, what does that allow us to do? Create a new point B. So let's hit play. Press play. There we go. Now, you guys can see, once again, price is just continuing to, you know, these are 30-minute candles. So we got 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Guys, the charts are not always just going to flow exactly where you want them to. So what does this allow us to do? It allows us to, once again, create a new point B where all the wicks touch. Point A, point B. All right? We hit play. What is still over what? The red is still over the blue. But once again, even as price is retracing, we know it's breathing, right? We know it's breathing. So we have to decide at what point are we going to close the trade if it breaks a certain level, right? So if we see price, because once again, guys, 30-minute time frame, we have the blue crossing over the red. So what do we need to go do? We need to go look at our hour 4. Uh-oh. Red is still over blue. So once again, don't let 30 minutes trip you out over the overall move. It's like I tell people, if we're having a great day, you wake up, you know, you have a good breakfast, you know, maybe wake and bake, you listen to some good music, go get some coffee, you know, like whatever your morning routine looks like, and then you're having a great afternoon, right? And then let's say you're headed to dinner and somebody cuts you off on the 5-minute time frame. Somebody cuts you off. Are you going to allow 5 to 30 minutes of bullshit to affect your entire day? So how can we allow a 30-minute candle to affect our daily outlook? How can we allow a 5-minute candle to affect our overall thought process of where price is going to go? That's the importance of understanding how to maintain these orders. So let's bump back down. We understand on 4-hour time frame, the red is still over blue, meaning on the higher time frame, there's still more sellers in the market than buyers. meaning we're going to continue to maintain this order. Perfect, perfect. So once again, guys, consolidation, not a lot happening. Now, once again, what do we see here? What's happening? I'm going to pause it. What do we see here, guys? The red is crossing over the blue, right? So what does that allow us to do? Hold, hold. There's no reason to close because nothing's telling us to, right? So hold. Let's press play. Press play. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And these are 30-minute candles happening within seconds because we're using the replay tool. It's like clockwork, guys. It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. Appreciate that, King. Appreciate that. It's like clockwork, guys. The red is still over the blue. So what does this allow us to do? Maintain the order. We have a new point B because we have a new low. Anytime price creates a new low, we have a new point B. And if we are using our fibs in a bullish move from point A to point B, then anytime it creates a new high, we have a new point B. That allows us to maintain. Guys, this gives us peace of mind. This allows us to check the charts and understand where's price going. Let's hit play. Red still over blue. Guarantee on 4-hour time frame, same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Once again, consolidation. It's all good. Now we see a 30-minute bullish move. Still consolidation. This allows us to take our point B and put it down here. New low, right? New low. Let's see here. Hey, how did you, let's see here. Hey, how did you get those red and blue lines? I also use the alligator method. The red and blue lines, you can just literally go to your indicators and you can add them on there. You can type in your moving average and your estimated moving average, or your, I think it's essential moving average, or EMA and MA. But this, once again, the whole concept of moving averages is it's showing you how price is flowing, because we were just able to look how to maintain an order that is over 300 pips, right? So we can all agree, if any of us can catch 300 pips, if you catch a 300 pip move with a 0.1, then that's $300. You catch a 300 pip move with a 1.0, then that's $3,000. You catch a 300 pip move with a 10 lot, that's $30,000, right? And you catch a 300 pip move with a 100 lot, that's 300K. Guys, I'm not putting that in there to like, oh, let's do pretend land, let's do make believe shit. No, guys, I started with a 0.1, then I upgraded to 1.0, and that's, for those of you who have been following me, that's when I was Jason with the mask. I've had to become a different character every step of the way. When I first started trading, I was Street Fighter. I was Tekken. I was a button smasher. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just pressing buttons, right? Then I started to feel like I knew how to do some shit. Then I became Kakashi Sensei, right? Then I became 0.1 to 0.9, where you can actually make some good money on a trade. Past it. Exactly, Shadow. Then what happens? I got to standy land, 1.0 to 9.0. Now we're dealing with real money. Now we have to be emotionless when we take our trades, because we already know we're dealing with real money, right? So when I started using 1.0s, 2.0s, 3.0s, I had to put the mask on. I had to essentially become numb to the drawdown. I had to become numb to the floating profits. Too many people celebrate while they're floating in profit, and too many people are crying while they're floating in drawdown. Nothing is official until it's official. My fault, guys. I just saw the time. We're at 9:10. I appreciate every single person that hopped on this call. Once again, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm trying to provide and pump as much value as I possibly can into each and every one of you, because I know it took somebody else doing that for me. I know I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I didn't have teachers, if I didn't have mentors. What's his socials? Oh, my socials is QB Stew. QB Stew. So for any of you that, any of y'all that want to tap in, once again, even on there, I try to provide as much value as I can, guys. At the end of the day, I want every single person to level up the same way I did. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be in Forex. That's why majority of this call, y'all have noticed, yeah, I dove into the charts. Yeah, I showed you guys how you can find the entry. Yeah, I showed you guys how you can maintain the order and have stops and take profits. But the key takeaway is how I want y'all to feel after this call. It's how I want y'all to move after this call. It's how postured I want you guys to be when y'all talk about Forex. Guys, hold on. Before we end this call, I got to show you. Y'all want to see some shit? Y'all want to see? This book right here, I titled Mind. And I started journaling in this book when literally in 2018. Y'all want to see something crazy? Y'all want to see something crazy? I'm gonna read something to y'all out of this that literally blew my mind the other day when I saw it, because I was like, yo, this is crazy. Right here, guys, I can't make this up. February 15th. I love it. I see some journals. I see some folks got some journals. February 15th, 2019. I literally said, we had dinner with a group of people and they asked me about what I do for a living. I told them I trade Forex, and I could instantly tell how much my mom doesn't like me talking about it. This always hurts. It was easy for people to support me when I was playing football, but because it's socially embraced. But this path to reach the levels of success trading has been a very lonely one. I won't give up though. I won't give up though. I'm talking about how my mom is literally anytime, what do you do? Oh, I trade Forex. I can see it in her. I can instantly see that she wasn't proud of it. But guess what? Now, when we go talk to, oh, what did you say? Oh, he trades Forex. He's a trader. My son? Oh, my son? Yeah, he's a trader. Right? And for those of you who know my mom, you'll probably be laughing because that's kind of how she sounds. But I love my mom to death. That's not to take anything away from her. That's just to show you guys that even your own parents, without them directly telling you, I don't support you or what you're doing, your own loved ones can still indirectly show lack of support. They can still show disbelief. And that's why I'm here to tell you guys today. The reason I wrote this down is because I knew it was already done. For those of you who believe in where you're going, it's not enough. You have to know where you're going. When you believe in something, there's room for doubt. But when you know, there's no room. There's no room. And I know every single person on this call is going to go as far as they're allowing themselves to go. Because the only person keeping you from where you want to go is that person in the mirror that you look at every single day. And once you can start to love that person, once you can start to support that person, once you can start to embrace that person for what and who they are, then there's only room for you to go up. So appreciate every single person on this call. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Once again, we'll be back next Monday. I'm going to be doing these calls every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, until the end of the year. So hope you guys got some value. Signing out. Till next time.